should be going. Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Lisa?
As your driveway was being accident, 75 adequate notice of meeting was provided on January 10th, 2019 by publication of notice in express times and posting said notice being displayed on the same date.
Roll call.
Mayor Barkley?
Here.
Mr. Beam?
Here.
Mr. McCabe?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Bennett?
Here.
Please stand for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, your favorite thing, we're going into executive session. So, anyone want to make a motion to go into executive session?
Make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
How long we figured? Did you ask John?
John won't be long. I don't think it'll be long, because it'll be 10 minutes for John, but was there something else that you wanted to cover?
No, not
All
now.
right, just that?
Yeah, just that for now. So
I would say 15 minutes.
Okay. Oh,
Brent,
yes. It might be longer because the sewer attorney's going to be here to brief us on litigation, so.
Maybe 30 minutes?
Yeah, it'll be a half an hour.
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will have one.
Wrote stuff up, so.
None of these are... No.
No, she can't make it, so. No, I'm waiting for everybody to come and even go back in.
Yeah? Right. They would probably move right now, too. Because it's not going to go for a lot.
Okay, looking for a motion, go back in public session.
I'll make the motion.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mike, can you give it?
Yes, we heard from executive session at 7:09 p.m. where we discussed one pending litigation matter dealing with co-litigation. No official action was taken. Copies of these minutes will be available at that time with the committee. Confirms there is no harm to the public.
Okay. Frank, you want to make a motion from, as discussed in executive session?
Do you want me to explain what we're voting on, or you want to do it after the motion?
Let's do the motion, and then
All right.
when I do questions, comments, we're...
I will make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the latest agreement between Greenwich and Fair Share Housing regarding affordable housing.
Anybody want a second? Lillian seconds it? Roll call?
Mayor Barkley?
What?
Oh, no.
Okay.
My questions, comments, discussion. Go ahead, Frank.
All right, so before we vote on it, just so everybody knows what we're voting on. As if everybody can recall, just as an update, at the last meeting, we authorized two different developers to build at two different sites. That was an authorization done by the township, but it wasn't agreed to upon by Fair Share yet. That was the last piece of the puzzle, to have Fair Share agree to where we wanted to locate the two different affordable housing sites. So in order that we can get out of the current agreement and enter into a new agreement. So Fair Share has agreed to our new plan, which we spoke about last time. So I'll explain the plan to everybody before we vote on it. So there's two property sites. The original property site is the Dumont site. As everybody recalls, originally 121 units were going to go there. That number then switched from, what do we go from, 60 to 71. The last vote was 71 units at the Dumont site. This agreement has 66 units at the Dumont site. They're going to be built by Ingerman Company, who received the highest score of several developers that were interviewed by a subcommittee of the Land Use Board and the Town Committee. They have experience in this part of New Jersey and have successfully built several affordable developments, some of which are in Hunterdon County. Ingerman is going to apply for what's called a 9% tax credit. By getting this tax credit, it basically takes the cost to the township down to very minimal. Helps them pay for the building of the units. If they're not granted the tax credits in this round, which starts in July, they will get one more shot at the tax credits, the 9% tax credits. So just as in the previous agreement that we had, that was active right now until we put this one in place, if for some reason they don't get the tax credits 9% both times, they can go for what's called a 4% tax credit and a USDA loan. Any difference in the amount of money for that, the township would have to pick up the cost. Which is no different, actually, it's actually better than the original agreement, which the town would have had to pick up the cost for 121, now it's for 66. But the good thing about this is that this property, each property that you go for these 9% tax credits has a score given to it. The Dumont property has a perfect score. So the odds of the Dumont property getting the 9% tax credits are really high, very good. So we're feeling really good that that's going to happen there. So we're not going to have to worry. Plus, they have 2 shots. So that's the Dumont site, 66 by Enderman. On the Furman site, which is the land next to the car dealership on 173. That's going to contain 64 units, and it's going to be constructed by a developer known as Petrucci. Petrucci owned the contract on that land. So in order for us to try to move the units to that piece of property, we had to work with Petrucci, who owned the contract on it. We agreed to allow Petrucci to build 64 units, and Petrucci will be allowed to go for 9% tax credits also. That site is not a perfect score. It's got a good score, but not a perfect score. So we don't know what there's a chance they may not get it. If they don't, they could go for a 4% tax credit on that site, and they could go for a USDA loan. Both of those things, and through the deal that they proposed to us, would still not have a significant cost. It still will be a cost to the township if they have to go for 4% and for the USDA loan, but not if we had to build the whole thing without either of the two. So anyway, that's the Furman site. Now, if for some reason Furman site doesn't get 9% financing, or they don't get 4% financing and a USDA loan, the township's going to have 2 options available to it. We could bond for the difference, or we have the option to find another piece of property, and if you can recall option C, where we just were allowed to independently rezone a portion of a property in Greenwich, independent of whether or not the owner wants us to do it. We have that option still available to us, that we could find a piece of property and rezone it for an inclusionary development, similar to what option C was. But that's only if everything falls apart on the Furman site, so we're optimistic that won't happen. And then one other thing, because of the new number of units, we're going to have 9 surplus units for the township. That means there are 9 units that we're building that we're not required to build. Those 9 units can then go towards the next round, which is coming in 6 years. That will reduce whatever the requirement is in the next round by 9 units. So, with that being said, I know there's been a lot of proposals, a lot of things that we looked at. We believe that this option that we're taking makes the most people in the township happy. I mean, I know there's nothing we can do that's going to make everybody happy, but I can't think of anything else that we can do that would make this many people, and I think, happy with the situation. So I want to thank John Drill for negotiating this and advocating for us on our behalf. I want to thank the Land Use Board for all the work they did on this, and voting twice on different disbursements of units. And, of course, the town committee for continuously voting in favor of distributing the units. And a special thank you to the mayor for his continuous support in this long and sometimes real difficult process. So, with that being said, you need a roll call, right?
Yeah. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Roll call. Yes.
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 Okay, looking for a motion to approve the minutes. I'll break it apart because I know Lillian wasn't here. For the regular meeting, December 20th, 2018. Anyone want to make the motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Any questions, comments, discussions, any corrections? Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Abstain?
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Can I ask a favor before we go on to the next topic? Would it be okay to open, since we just voted on this, to public comment now?
Yeah, let's get done with this approval, then we'll move it up. That's
Okay.
no problem, yep. Actually, I think, Lillian, you should abstain, because you weren't here for the December 23, were
Oh,
you?
okay. No, I was in the room.
You were in the audience, but... Okay. A motion to approve the reorganizational meeting minutes from January 3rd, 2019. Anyone want to make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Anyone want a second?
Second.
Questions, comments, corrections? Roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to move open comment, public comment up, right?
Yeah, just...
You want to make the motion to open public comment?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second?
All
Are
in
we limiting
favor?
it to just this topic or to the agenda items?
I don't care, we can do whatever, but it's 3 minutes. You make your comments, you can make your comments in a question form if you want. After we close it, anybody wishes to answer, will answer, okay? So with that, whoever wants to be first.
My name is Walter Massa. I'm a resident of Greenwood for approximately 20 years. And with that being said, Happy New Year to everybody on the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appeared before the board in September of 2017 proposing that the township look into a solar electric program to replace the town's dependence on JCB&L. Since that time, I have met with Chief Meskey and Will Spence on an on and off type agenda. And I've been hearing that there were various comments made that I was looking to suggest the town purchase the solar program because there were 2 other bids, and it was said that what I proposed was more expensive. Well, that is entirely false, and I am not proposing that the town purchase the solar installation. For townships, municipalities, there are programs that are available that allow them to take advantage of solar and not own it. Specifically, I did some paperwork, and the town will save over $500,000, $487,000 to be exact, over the course of 20 years. What it actually does is called a power purchase agreement, not a solar purchase, okay? The township would not really do any better purchasing solar because you cannot use the tax credit, you cannot use the SREP, and you can't use any depreciation. That's why these other programs are there. And I would respectfully ask that the township appoint somebody to a committee or appoint a committee so I can bring all this information formally before the committee so everybody would hopefully understand exactly what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions from any of you all?
It's not a dialogue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Craig Schnabel, Commander of the Storage American Legion. I'm just here to find out if the town is still interested in purchasing our Legion next door. And if they are, do they know how soon they will be moving on it, or, I just like to know where we stand just for now, anyway. We're renting the front right now, but in several months, we're going to be out of this.
Okay. After we close public session, then that's when we answer a question.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Craig. Anyone else?
Brian Baylor, 201 Yvonne Way. I just want to thank everyone for the time, dedication that you chose to, go somewhere else and pick different sites. And it wasn't the, option A. And all the time you gave up with your families and work and the dedication that you, brought to this town and found the solution. So, thank you. I know it's only a thank you, but it is appreciated. Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay. Oh, there.
question. Was the score on the third property?
Did you hear that, Bob?
Yeah. Anyone else? Motion to close? You want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to close.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let me answer. Greg, to tell you the truth, we haven't even looked at anything because you were tied up, and affordable housing has probably taken up about 97% of our time since like June, almost to the point where we weren't getting concerned, we weren't paying enough attention to the rest of the township. But we have the CFO running some numbers to see if we can even afford it, so we'll let you know well ahead of time before your renter's out, and you can make another decision, okay? Thanks. Yeah, thanks for all you do. Thanks for coming. Okay, that was the easy one. Mr. Baylor, I'd like to thank you for expressing your interest in getting put on the land use board, even though I know you weren't assigned. I think in my 4 years on, this is my third year as mayor, you're the first person who ever contacted me to ask to be put on anything. We usually have to beg people, so I explained to you in the email that the timing wasn't right, but I appreciate your interest in coming forward. Does anybody want to handle Mr.
Yeah, well, I could tell you that, John told us it was a perfect score, so I think it might be 83, is that the number?
Wait, the question was on Furman, not Dumont.
Oh, Furman.
I think what I remember is, and I don't remember, I think a perfect score is a 93.
Oh, 93.
And I believe, please don't hold me to this, but I believe the Furman score was 2 points or 3 points less.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but in terms of getting the 9%.
It's competitive, and a lot of the ones that are approved.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Moffett, please?
Right there.
Oh, geez, right in front of me. Yeah, we're looking into that and getting somebody signed. Joe, you've still been talking with Joe about things, right? And Joe has given us some updates, but we haven't talked about that in months either.
No,
Yeah.
So, and I think one other thing is, I had a little bit of experience when I was on the school, is the condition of the roof is really critical, and I know a lot of these builders of these TPAs, the roof needs to have at least a 15 to 20 year useful life, and I think, Joe, wasn't there a question about...
You already told us we need a new roof.
Yeah, so before we can even entertain...
The other location was the water pump station.
Right, which is, gets on the ground, right, which is a different issue, yeah. I agree. But on this one, we'd have to first make, either put a new roof on before you could put a...
Well, one of the things with the program...
We're not supposed to have...
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I think that's the first thing on here, as far as the pump station, we'd have to, because that would require usage of land around it, so, but I agree, once we can get past some
I
of
think
this...
what he really wants is to point somebody
to do it. That's what I was
so we're not here talking.
So now that hopefully we get a breather on COA, we can look at it.
So is there a time frame? Because I'm talking September of 2017 was the time that I was here the first time. And I know there was elections, so then I started talking to Joe and Will, and now it's 2019. So we've got like a year and a half already into it with nothing. And I'm ready to give any information that the township would need, because I live here and it's my taxes too.
Okay, we'll look into it and we'll get back to you on it, okay? Yep. We're done with that, so anybody else have anything else to add? Did we answer everybody's question last time? I think so. Okay. Looking for a motion to accept the treasurer's report and December bill list. I know somebody has items they wanted to pull on this, and
yeah, the bill list, I did speak to Kathleen,
so
one of which was the one plumbing bill, which I'm good, it's fine, it's related to the work that one of the plumbers did at the park, and I thought it was something that would have gone through Samson, but I remember this was...
We discussed that earlier.
Yeah, this was work that was done outside of the work that Samson... Yeah, I talked to Mark, so, yeah, and it's all fine. The other one was the Unum bill on the LTD, which we can talk about in executive session, so.
So you want to make a motion to pay everything except that?
Except for the Unum bill, which we'll discuss in a second.
Okay, so you're making that motion?
I'll make the motion, yes.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Tax collector's report. Paul, you have, anything you want to say, or you want to make the motion to accept or what?
I will make a motion to accept the tax collector's report.
I'll second. Anybody have any questions, comments, or discussion on that? Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
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 Chief Hummer, you want to come up and give the December report? You want us to just accept what you sent us?
I'll go over just because you're all before. If you don't mind. Okay, first of all, the monthly report, December 631 calls, a great deal of firearms, 7 for the month. Our adult arrests were 13, and for yearly stats, we ended the year with 150 adult arrests, 22 juvenile arrests, and I'm happy to say 10 DUIs, which we haven't been at a double-digit number in the town for quite some time. We don't have a lot of bars in town, which generally generate a lot of DUI arrests for township police departments, so I'm very happy with that number. Our goals for next year, as you see, our detective bureau ended with solving 34 of 118 cases times, which is about 29%. My goal is to, I'm happy with that number. Detective cases aren't easy to solve, especially when you have room full-time behind the bureau. But my goal next year is for the bureau to exceed that number, and the detective bureau accounts for about 70% of our arrests within the police department. So a great deal of that comes from that department. Overtime. Does anyone have any questions on the monthly report? Overtime. I'll just go right to the end of year overtime report. We were at about 36% less than the previous year, for about a savings of $57,000. Again, that accounts for the hiring and the 12-hour hidden shift that you shifted to. That is pretty much. Oh, one more thing on the overtime. I was talking about the detective bureau, and you'll see that the amount of hours for detective call-outs and call-offs is actually pretty low, considering all the other hours totals for overtime. And the reason for that is not because those hours aren't there, but the detective, under his contractual allowance, he can take comp time, overtime, it takes to do the comp time, so ends up seeing the time a lot of money. So, that's the end of my report. Is there any questions?
I think we're good. Thanks, Chief. Thanks for all you guys do.
Yeah.
Joe? You'll go home and go to bed soon, or what?
I look at it as lost, I'll never gain it, so. Buildings and ground wise, DPW has got, the fuel management system is up and running. We started using the fobs once I come back for the new year, about the 4th of January. So by February 4th, be able to break down, and in my report will be a report on the gas usage for the department. All right, so that's how that will track that. Also, just DPW-wise, the leak collection program, 2018 total 441 cubic yards. 2017 we did 243 cubic yards. 2016, the first year we started collecting leads, 226 cubic yards. So significant increase this year, and people start to use it. We're a lot busier at busy times, Monday and Tuesday after weekends. Really, we've taken 2 and 3 truckloads at a time before that. Some asphalt repairs and patching there during the month of December, over 18 tons through what I call the Heights area, Holsizer, Thompson, Edison, Prospect, Warren Streets, Ulmer, Crispin, and Rickline Road. We also had some drainage problems out there because of all the rain and stuff on Rickline Road that we corrected during this effort. We are ready for the snow machines converted. Truck number 4 is one of the main trucks we use. It's sat most of the summer. It's one of the oldest trucks. So for me to make that truck ready, we spent almost $6,000 to make it winter ready. That'll be a discussion for budget time and stuff. I just want to make that aware and part in there. Completion of the 2018 storm drain inspection. As for the DEP, we got to go around and check all the storm drains, make sure they're clean and operating, or what needs to be cleaned and maintained. So I have a list of things, and for next year's budget is possibly getting contracting or renting a truck to clean out some of these storm drains. There's a lot of debris is down in there, and unfortunately a lot of leaves and stuff. I think some people have been using that as their leaf disposal too, because there's no other way for them to get down in there that way.
Yeah.
So we got to start working on that and get the program together for that. The POSHA notice of compliance, I have sent a letter to the Department of Labor. We have abated all the citations, and I just seen something in the mailbox there. He replied email that the letter would be on its way, so we should have a clean bill of health for the next 3 years, so the next inspection for that. And just some training the DPW has taken. We refreshed some work zone safety, and there was also one, and this is all through our insurance company, coaching the maintenance vehicle operator, operating our trucks and specialized equipment out in the public streets and stuff, and awareness that was. And also Thomas Stewart Park, we're still checking weekly the garbages, and the pet waste receptacles are receiving high usage.
That's good.
It's being used. And other thing, I did a budgetary check. Got a quote for pest control for the municipal building from Ehrlich Pest Control, and they gave us a quote at $48 a month. Our current contractor, Viking, is costing us $108 a month. I would like authorization to sign a contract and move forward with that. That's $720 a year savings.
It was apples to apples, Joe?
Yes, it's a monthly service,
Wow.
and if there's any issues in between, that's free. That's part of the pest control and everything. I showed them what we were getting from the other contract, apples to apples. So, like I said, I'd like an authorization to go ahead and get them taken care of. Our present outfit was here already this month, as a matter of fact, just this past month.
And there are month to month, we're not under contract?
How's that?
We're not under contract to them?
No, I haven't signed a contract with them for I don't know how long it
Okay.
was. It's year to year. So it just keeps
Right, okay.
So you want to switch to Ehrlich?
early, yes. Our present company is Viking.
Okay.
Okay? And then I seen on the agenda about the lawn stuff.
Before you leave, Joe, one question. How many new hydrants did they put up? Do you know the answer up there?
It was 18.
18?
17 or 18. And I know I've had a conversation with Mike about some of them, but I got a question about how close a few of them are. That wasn't depicted in there. I sent you an email as fire chief that we need to address. They're really like a top.
Yeah, do we have to, just as another budgetary item,
Yeah.
Because hydrant service costs the town about $1,000 a year per hydrant. It's not cheap. From Aqua, that is, yeah.
Joe, I got a question. I don't know if this is under you or not. The hay rolls in Wyndham Farm, they've been sitting there a long time. Some of them are deteriorating. They were sitting in the floodplain when it was all flooded. So I don't know if that's under your jurisdiction or...
It's part of grounds. I'll get a hold of the farmer who's taking care of that.
Yeah,
You can do about it.
they've been sitting there a long time, just so we can look into it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everyone had a chance to see the Warren County Health Department report?
Yes.
Anyone want to make a motion to accept it? Hold on, I'm sorry. We're gonna do, I got you to go yet, huh? Okay, you're gonna do your
All
report.
the computer equipment that you guys approved last month is just in about a week or two. So far, James continues to be in good shape. The DOT information meeting about the pre-construction for the Route 173 is now rescheduled for Wednesday, February 6th. Just make the public aware. I did hand out, I was able to pull together a spreadsheet on the vacant property registration update. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at that tonight. April through the end of the year, we collected $8,350. An additional $3,000 was brought in for a second renewal for one of the real problem properties. So we're up to $11,350 for our vacant property registration. Chief Hunter and I met with the Verizon rep. He had initiated some changes to our plan. Before we met with him, we were able to remove a bunch of unnecessary items. And Kathleen told me today that she believes the bill has gone from $780 to $320 a month, so that's good. And my last thing to report is actually the tow ordinance, so I don't know if we want to wait until it is on the agenda later.
Okay, we're going to do that. Okay.
It's a little longer.
Okay, now, I guess I'm looking for a motion to accept the Police Department report for December, the DPW report for December, the Warren County Health Department report for December, and the clerk's report for December.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Comments? So, Joe, thanks a lot. I don't know if people pay attention, but Joe's always coming in with ways to save money for us. It's not the first time he's come in and done that, and I appreciate you always looking out for the township, Joe. You've saved us over the last couple of years quite a bit of money by seeing things like that, and I just like to recognize you for it and appreciate it, as well as the chief. We're pretty lucky here with both Joe and Rich. They're pretty conscientious on trying to cut expenses the most they can. He significantly reduced overtime this year, and Joe's always coming up with things like he just did with pest control. So thanks, both of you, for that. Anybody else have any comments, questions? Roll call?
Mayor Barsting?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
I don't know if we really need to do it, but I'll make a motion to authorize Joe to sign a contract with Ehrlich Pest Control for the municipal building.
Second?
Questions, comments, discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Barsting?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes.
Mr. Crone?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Committee reports. Anybody up here have any reports on? Okay. Professionals. Mike, do you have anything?
Really just one matter to update the committee on, and it's relative to the park. The Open Space Committee met last week and kind of went through my last letter to Bob Sampson, and it was agreed that I would schedule a meeting with Bob to kind of go through it, hopefully one last time. That meeting occurred tonight before this meeting. Mark Zagoda, the architect, was here, myself and Bob. Went through the report. After the meeting concluded, Mark Zagoda and Bob were going to go up to the building for Mark to inspect some of the things that Bob claims he has finished, which I suspect he has. There's a few items he still needs to wrap up. That includes supplying screens. There's an issue of partitions in the bathroom and whatnot. There's two, I think, items that are going to be debatable as we try to wrap this up, close this out once and for all. Those items are the stucco treatment for the building, and our inspector, Pat, who was a contractor, has an associate, a friend, who is a long-term mason. He was out at the site the other day, and he's going to write up a report, and I told Bob all about it, what's happening, and I said, I don't have the report yet, but so until we get that report, we really can't accept the concession stand because of the cracking of the stucco at the two gable ends of the building. So we're going to see what the second expert opinion yields in that respect. The other thing, maybe the last item of the debate, is the removal of the silt fence in the back of the property, which is maybe the thing that bothers me more than anything at this point in the project. He's not budging on it, and I think it's clearly his responsibility. I've talked to Joe briefly
months ago about, okay, Joe, how big of a project would it be for DPW? So, I don't think we're ready to make this decision. We don't have to make this decision now, especially we're in the middle of winter. And removing that fence would be a little more of a project now with the stakes froze. But I contend we have the DPW do it. If Sampson refuses to do it, and we just deduct it off this last page. We come up with the amount of dollars, and value of DPW services, getting rid of it, and we handle it that way. That's my recommendation.
This is silt fence that he installed?
No.
No, right, okay.
But there's a big but. This is silt fences. You look, it's the very...
No, I know what you're talking about.
This was installed by Earthworks. CRC, before the Earthworks contract started, of course. Okay. Before Bob started, and that would have been Jeff's responsibility to remove. And Jeff was prepared to remove it. But it didn't make sense to remove it when you had Bob coming in doing all his work. So, we talked, and I know Mr. Fornicari was involved in this discussion, and Bob agreed to let it, like he was happy that we would let it stay there. So I told Bob that story 10 times, and he just says, no, it's not in the contract.
Well, question, Mike, because I've been questioning this right along, and I was told that, I gotta be honest, and I don't know the numbers, they're not here in front of me, but I know Sampson charged the town for installing silt fence.
Yes.
I have a real question mark about what he actually installed.
Well, the silt fence he installed was the silt fence at the school property. That's where the sidewalk...
And I have certainly heard that, but to the tune of $7,000, give or take?
Well, I don't have the contract...
No, nor I, but I mean, that's the number that I'm recalling. And
I don't recall it being that high, but
No, I'm not going to, like I said, I don't have it in front of me, but one should look.
Okay, I can look tomorrow, and there was a fairly lengthy section of silt fence on the Phase 2 plans to be both installed of the school property and then, of course, removed. The cost for which I can't...
Right, no, I'm just bringing that up since we're talking silt fence.
Tomorrow I can give you a buzz or
That's fine.
send you a zipping email and so forth, but okay. So, that's the update. Otherwise, it's been very quiet.
Mike, you all right with that? That, not just taking it out of his check and...
He's supposed to take it out, and we can discuss that more in executive session.
I was just going to say,
No, he knows my opinion, so it's public enough.
And then I've got one question for Mike, only because it was related to the last meeting. Mike Rice from Cannonball Pools was in here. Now, I know the county's been in contact with you. I've been in contact with the county. Have we satisfied, and I think you're going to tell me, we need to have an ordinance. I mean, we have an ordinance that compels Mike to do the sidewalks regardless, but the county wanted documentation of that, and they wanted documentation that the Land Use Board approved the stormwater runoff plan, which there wasn't one because nothing changed. And I know those were two things that were hanging it up. So the county was looking for something in writing, which seemed to me to be pretty simple, right?
Well, the one is simple and it's not.
Which is?
The stormwater.
Stormwater, that's right, okay.
I think Mike Lavery's been in contact with the county for the other issue.
Yeah, with Mike and the county, my understanding is they don't care about our ordinance, they want us to sign that document, so.
I have.
We talked to Alex Zorzak of Business and Buildings and Grounds on that as well, and then I have a call into Joe Bell, County Council, because we weren't getting the answers that we were from the engineer's office, I'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay, because I had a probably an hour-plus conversation with all of them early last week.
Well, that's news to me if all they want is a copy of our ordinance.
Well, I think they wanted to make sure that it was enforceable, that they needed an ordinance that says our ordinance, or they needed documentation that said our ordinance is sufficient enough to compel him to clean the walks.
Another question you have to Joe Bell.
Nobody from the county here, are there?
No.
Well, you realize how ridiculous it is. It's a county road, we don't own the property, we don't control it, and they want us to sign an agreement that says we're responsible for the sidewalk when we have an ordinance that says it's a property. I mean, Yeah,
No, right.
Joe Bell, see if he's willing to accept our copy of our ordinance.
Yeah, no,
Right.
If Joe Bell says
Joe Bell will
okay.
be able to resolve it,
Yeah.
but I've run into this same problem with the county engineer before, and people just throw up their hands and say, okay, fine, we'll just sign it, but there's no reason for us, as a township, to accept liability for property we don't own, we don't control, and all we do is have an ordinance that says, if you don't shovel your sidewalk, we're gonna cite you. So,
Right.
but I've been down this road before, so I'm hoping the county council will be able to talk some sense into them. And I'll be happy to, I have a copy of the ordinance, I'll be happy to provide it to them, but I think that they want us to sign the agreement.
I brought a couple cannibal pools in, I was right out of the county letter. Furnished evidence showing the municipality adopted orders which fixes maintenance responsibility sidewalk on the municipality or funding landowner. We have that, I sent it to them. I sent it to them twice now, over the past year. However, it goes on to say, this is the hang-up. The municipality will need to execute an agreement with the county for blah, blah, blah. So that's where, as I said last month, and Mike and I talked about it a couple times, I unilaterally made the call. I said, the committee's not signing it. They're not signing it. And it's obviously been, we've all agreed.
And an
So,
official at the county, who I will not name, agreed with us that it was ridiculous, but we just gotta get somebody to push them to...
Well, here's a perfect example of government hurting a little small business guy. I mean,
Yeah.
and hurting us, because, it's a business in town rather than a vacant building. And so the impact is more than just to him, it's to the whole municipality, so.
Well, with that being said, there is a fourth problem there that doesn't involve the town or the county, but a much tougher problem to solve between two landowners, so, yeah. I'm hearing that has been resolved,
oh, good. I haven't heard anything.
but,
Well, so I guess we'll leave it as you two will follow up, see what we can get done here.
I'll make sure, Joe, because I think that's what we need, is some help from the county council to say that this is unnecessary and you really can't require us to do this. So, and I'm, Joe...
And that's the only thing holding up a vacant building in town. It's absurd.
On a county road that we don't control, and on property we don't control.
Well, and also, Bob, just for clarification, there are some other open items that are nothing to do with the township that are Mr. Rice's, that he needs to satisfy. Only a couple things.
And his seems okay with that. And his only hang-up was this one thing,
To help
so...
him, and we have been.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, I've been trying, nobody wants something that small of a project in the grand scheme of things to go on for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's absurd.
It's laughable.
It's
laughable.
It's not a governmental failure.
Well, you're glad you said that.
I don't care. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Mike, you don't have anything in public
Well,
discussion?
I have drafts of the ordinance creating the Open Space and Parks Committee, which I'll hand out, and then if everybody, next month we can do that, and then also the Recognition Committee ordinance, so. And Frank Pinto already reviewed them and was okay, he made a couple minor changes, which we made, so.
Okay. Old business. Any of these topics anybody need to discuss?
John Paul told me that he emailed everybody, he copied everybody on what he thought was the solution to creating an email account. I forgot to print it off. Did we all read that, see that?
I get a chance to read it.
Well, then we will just wait, we'll wait till next month on it.
He sent something, I didn't get a chance.
Okay.
As Bob stated.
I thought he said last week.
I didn't get it.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know if I got it, but...
I got something from him.
All right, it's fine. It does, I mean, basically, he said that when somebody emails the town that they're going to say, there's going to be an automatic bounce back that says there'll be no reply to this, because we're sending out an email for information, and you can't reply to it. Do not reply, right. I guess that's basically how he's got it worked out, so that we don't get... I mean, the reality of all our emails are up there anyway, so they don't need to use a town-wide blast system because we're all available by email regardless. So, assuming that we get something along that line's working, that's how that's going to work. But he said he's got it all figured out and it's kind of ready to go. We just got to kind of put the finishing polishes on it.
This involves a subscription-based system, right?
It does, and it was like $50 a month for 6,000
For somebody to
emails.
subscribe, though, they will get an email where they...
Exactly.
Right?
They're going to have to subscribe to us to be put onto the list
Then once they subscribe, they get an email.
They get an email.
And they get to confirm through the email.
Exactly.
Do you have anything on park security? It's usually you.
I don't. I don't know, Chief, is there any update on when, Cooper? All right, very good.
Oh, on the park, too, on the Park and OS Committee, there were, officers elected. We had Chairman Jeremy, are you, who's the vice?
And
Mark, right?
Mark is vice.
So, just as an FYI. I don't know if we have to redo that when the ordinance happens, so we'll have to figure that one out.
I don't know. I don't know if we have to, there's no appointment, it's just marking notification, right? What?
I don't know, I've got to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ad hoc, it can elect, I don't think.
Well, that's what I was, okay, we'll talk about it, but that's why I was wondering what the ordinance was about. If it's an
I don't
ad
think we
hoc.
have to do anything on it.
Okay.
Township planner.
And the township planner, Lisa, should that not have gone under executive for contract negotiation? Or did we talk about something last time that it's carried over?
Ask for it to be added, so.
Let's add it to executive, please.
Okay, new business. Oh, were we done?
Oh, wait, there is one question. Chief, the, came up at our OS meeting regarding the ultra, the flying machines at the park, the ultra glides, I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Ultralights.
Ultralights.
Like that.
Is there anything on that that you can share as far as?
Oh, at the last meeting, Attorney Lacy
Yeah, he told me they couldn't do that.
Well, we're being told they're still doing it.
Still doing it.
They're still doing it.
Well, yeah, there's violations.
Is it actually the people?
I'm not aware.
I said, is it the same guys still?
I'm not aware of any calls coming about. When was this?
Dominic
Yeah.
Like, was this within the last week, or?
There's an adjacent property owner that is on the open space committee, so he's,
I would just ask him
He reported it.
if he sees that, but just let the chief know, because we made it clear, I think there's...
Well, no, did you call right away so that the,
Yeah, under FAA rules, they can fly wherever they want, but they can't land and take off wherever they want. They can't land and take off on public property or private property unless they have permission, so that's the rub. You know, they said at the last meeting, remember, Chief, they were like, well, you know, FAA regs, they go, I'm familiar with the FAA regs. That allows you, once you take off, you know, you can fly wherever you want, but you can't take off wherever you want or land wherever you want.
So I guess it's a matter of whether they actually took off.
Or land-
Field, or were they just flying over the field, which you can't.
We were told they were landing.
no, they were using the
They
field.
were using it.
Yeah, and so we've been.
So, just on that FAA, what is the height that they have to fly at? Is there a minimum height?
You know what, I didn't bring the, I had regs with me at the last
I'd like to
meeting, I
know
put them
that.
in there, but it was pretty much, you know, I think under 2,000 feet, you know, you can pretty much, I mean, obviously,
So it's not, okay, yes, I'd like to know that.
anything else? Okay. Looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 19, 2019, continuing Greenwich's participation in the South Warren Alcohol and Drug Abuse Alliance, the Municipal Alliance. Anybody want to make the motion? I'll make the motion that we,
I'll second it.
any questions or comments or discussion on
Is
it?
there any changes from,
No, this resolution basically authorizing us to make the applications for the grants and stuff, and then the matching grants, so. Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McCall?
Yes.
Mr. Rhodes?
yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Resolution 2019 authorization for the lien redemptions on the two properties is listed. Anybody have any questions? I want to make the motion to adopt. Anybody want to second?
I'll second it.
Any questions, comments, discussion on it? Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McCall?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes.
Tell ordinance amendments. You have something on that, Lisa, or
Yeah.
Mike, or whatever?
Chief and I met and we went over our existing ordinance. This came up as a question because there was an issue. I think all three of our tow companies have been using parameters that are kind of established through the state police. That was challenged, and an old ordinance of ours refers to an Exhibit A with a fee schedule that was probably adopted in the 90s. It's ridiculously low. No one would tow for us for that price, and we all agreed, I think, mid-year last year, that had to be amended when we figured it out. So the change that we come up with, and I talked to Mike today, we're going to get this over to him and we sort of make the wording a little bit better. But we need to actually do a lot more to this ordinance once the chief and I reviewed it. The days and parameters for the duty roster need to be changed in section 20-1.1. 21.2, under eligibility, the chief would also like to modify that section. Currently, it just says that the applicant has to pass a background check, and he thinks it's important to also include all of the tow operators, which makes sense, more work for them. So we need to work on the language to modify that, to do that annually, and then also as they have new hires, which obviously makes sense. 20-3, referring to the fees, again, we need to just sort of remove our reference to Exhibit A and work through an example that we actually have, which just refers back to its Garden State towing regulations, and it's a whole fee schedule, and that's what they all follow anyway. Sort of gives them a maximum. They can charge less if they want to, but it provides for a max, and it's sort of governed by the state police regs. So that's our recommendation. Talk to Mike about it briefly today.
So basically, you have all the information. We're going to give it to Mike.
We'll get it to Mike, and
He'll
then-
draft the ordinance.
Yeah,
And we'll
and
do it
we
next
just
month.
have to modify that whole section of our code.
Okay.
The chief did get a sample from Powhatan, but it's like 25 pages long, a lot of definitions. It would cost us thousands just to publish, so we're erring on the side of keeping it simple.
Okay. Lawn mowing bids, anybody have any?
Well, yeah, Joe and I were talking about it. We need to put it out because the current contractor's been our contractor for 3 years, so he's not eligible just to advance on. So we have to put it out to bid, and there were some changes that we were looking for. We wanted to extend it further into November. And has it been determined that they want more weed whacking at the school, or is that still?
I know that was complaints there, so I'm sure it's gonna be, that did not make contact.
So, well, it's something that, if we're going to get the bid out ASAP, we need a pretty quick answer on that ASAP too. But right now, who is doing it? The DPW or?
The schools?
Yes.
Personnel.
Their own personnel, their own staff. Because I know that weed whacking end of it is certainly a laborsome venue, and I know that they're, well, I don't know if they're thrilled to death or not, but I know they are contributing to the mowing process now. It would be a shame to burn up their contribution by adding weed whacking to the building that they're already providing. I mean, that's just the first forward thought on the subject matter, because I think it would clearly cost that much on an annual basis.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, so we have to find out what extra weed whacking they're doing right now. Do we know?
I think they're doing a lot around the parking lot, especially up at Greenwich Elementary School, because the weeds growing up the curb in the parking lot and stuff like that. And that, the former contract just said the front of the entrance buildings proper, like along the walkways, front of the building, so as public approaches, it looks presentable.
Yeah, I
And
guess,
that's the same even for the municipal building construction. The DPW's been taking care of the parks, under fences around the play equipment, stuff like that.
if we can get an idea of how much extra it would cost to do that extra work, and
Well, you wouldn't really have an idea until you put it out for bid. I mean, I guess in theory, we can leave it as a line item and have it an option to reject it.
we can have it as a, what do we call this? Alternate.
On an alternate? Okay. So, all right, Joe, so we're going to duplicate the last bidding process. We're going to add 2 mows in November, and as an alternate, we're going to add weed whacking at both schools, or just one school complaining?
They
Both schools. All right, so, as an alternative. Lisa, you can then, what, do we have copies? Was it in your computer of the old bid? Pardon?
So we'll find out.
Okay.
I think
Mike, you can provide her with that?
I sure can.
All right.
And we want separate bids for.
Yeah, we want it all, yeah, it'll all be separated, school, municipal property.
Okay. I'll call this.
Yeah, we want to break down on every piece, and school and town being separated. And this is also going to include a bid on Thomas Stewart Park.
Okay, well then that's gonna be, I think, I don't want to say substantial, but a little more different than I thought listening to this.
Right, well, because,
Last bid.
yeah, but the last bid they bid on Thomas Stewart Park.
No, that Township Park was not even any close.
Yeah, no, it was separate, but there should still be language written. That's how we knew how much it was going to cost.
3 years,
You never bid.
no,
I thought we were just...
Got close.
Got quotes, okay.
yeah, that was.
Yeah, all right,
that was
all right,
Park,
all right,
not included in
okay.
the bid that we did.
All right, so we need to make that so that we can put that out too.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. 2019 budget meetings. Lisa, do we have any dates? I mean, I know you asked me about a couple. I said they were good. I don't know if you asked everybody or not.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
The issue is for January 20th, Paul is actually not available, and that is the night that we're going to have Joe and Rich come and present theirs.
Okay.
And since he's the liaison to DPW, I thought it might be important for him to be there. So Kathleen will not be ready for additional discussion at that point, so unless we just wanted to meet general, the AFS will not be completed by then. So I don't know if you guys want to move it to February 5th and 12th.
I think I'm good those 2 dates.
I'm good both dates.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good both dates.
I am too.
Brad, you were a maybe for the 12th?
Yeah,
You're definitely for the 12th?
I just, let me get back to you. February's a unpredictable month for me right now.
Okay.
Again, the 5th would then be for those two.
And altogether, what do we need
Supervisors
for?
Present there, so if you know, we have that stuff. in the-
What do we need for?
So,
Meetings?
Well, I think we'd have to listen to Kathleen first. I think we're in better shape now than we have for the last 3
Right,
years.
sure, right,
so
right.
Should go a little easier.
Mhm.
I think Kathleen agreed that too, for stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
I'll know more in like another week or so, once something waiting on schedule, so.
okay. Do you have any correspondence? I'm going to jump to those, so when we go in executive, if they want to go home and watch TV, they can. Okay. I'll make another motion for public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone left who would like to make a comment or anything we discussed? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close public comment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Looking for a motion to go into executive session to discuss contract negotiations, the police contract, personnel, long-term disability policy, personnel, drug testing policy, and the township planner. Did we add something else? Park security. Park security.
And I guess it's Frank not making, I didn't hear, we were gonna talk about the
So,
sewer.
and we're just going to do, well, we're saying sewer litigation if the attorney shows up.
Shows up.
Okay.
Want me to text them?
I made the motion,
Yeah, can you?
or where we did.
Yeah, 'cause,
Thanks, everyone, for coming. You're welcome to wait in the hallway. This could be a long one.
I thought he was showing up to this meeting, but, I know there's been a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know when you're good?
Wait.
Second.
Yep.
Why wasn't I?